I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Jelpy and Ghosty. And these are the A99 shirts.
A99 shirts.
Want to show the back?
I was going to say you should show them the back. And the mountain shall be melted with their blood. Right? The A99 shirts are actually not ours, so I don't specifically know how to get them. Is there a specific link?
I'm sure that once you join the A99 group on Patreon, that they have all of those little perks available to you.
Right, okay, that's true. Well, I mean, we told you that, we keep telling you guys that the Patreon thing is a community, subculture, whatever, and these guys are...
They're doing their own thing there.
This is part of their thing. So, check them out. You can get in. It starts off $1 at the gate. I think if you go to the $20 tier, it doesn't matter what alliance you're in, the second month that clears, you get a Vin and Sori shirt.
You do.
Free of charge. So
same thing with the $25 tier, both of them.
Right, isn't it anything above the $20 tier?
No, it's the 20 and the 25. Every tier has something different.
I see. Yeah, so we were the first ones to do the shirt thing, but anyway, A99 shirts, we're rocking them because we're listening to an A99 song. The name of this record is what now? Rites of Spring, and the name of the band is For Want Of.
Huh? Rites of Spring, I think, is the name of the band, and the name of the song is For Want Of.
Oh, okay. So Rites of Spring is the name of the band, and the name of the song is For Want Of. Is that right? Okay. So let me get the lyrics.
It's so weird
here.
because when I was typing it in, I had the whole thing set up, and it said For Want Of You. And then I was like, where's the you? I couldn't find you on anything. I'm like, oh, I added that in. I'm already making it a relationship song.
You failed me for the last time. All right. It is time. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori. So let's do it.
All right. Ready? Go.
I believe. Memory, my mirror, no reflections on me. I believe that if you get it, I might set myself free. But I woke up this morning with a piece of glass caught in my throat, and then I just
The lyrics
So
though.
I was right.
Well, no, the lyrics are still officially for want of.
And then it says you.
Yeah, but the official lyrics are for want of.
What are you talking about?
Those are the official lyrics, for want of. That's the actual title of the song. It's not for want of you.
Oh, I know, but I just finished it off like that was what was gonna. There was in the song, for want of you. So I was right.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a relationship song per se.
I think it is. I think that he's talking about the past. The past is gone. Right here. I believed memory might mirror, no reflections on me. Then in forgetting, I might set myself free. But I woke up this morning with a piece of past caught in my throat. I thought that was a really good way of wording that. You know, like when something is there and it's like the way that like stuff gets caught in your throat and that feeling, and then the feeling when the past comes back to meet you and you forget about it until you're waking up. And then I choked. I bled. I tried to hide the heart from the head. I thought that was really good too because, you know, there's sometimes when something bothers me and I try to, my heart is sad about something and I don't want my mind to think about it because it'll just make it worse. So try to separate the two. So that part made sense.
Well, the reason I'm saying it's not a relationship song is because he says, I said I bled in the arms of a girl I barely met.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's having a hard time and he's just, I don't want to say using this girl he barely met, but the thrust of the song doesn't seem to necessarily be about her. She's a means to deal with whatever it is that was tormenting him in the first place.
Oh, I think that he's talking about some other woman, and then you know how people will just like do like a quick rebound or like a one-nighter to kind of like fix the problem.
Yeah, but what about the lyrics before make you think that he was in a previous relationship?
Because he says for want of you, and I can't see it's for want of you. Want of who? And that is what the past was. The piece of the past that's caught in his throat that's choking him is the fact that he doesn't have that anymore. That relationship is gone.
Okay.
And then what are you saying it is?
Well, I just think that there's lots of tragedies that happen in people's life that they use a relationship to fix. Mm-hmm. So it could be it could be anything. Mm-hmm. I mean,
so the you is anything?
Well, I mean, look, Isaac was comforted by was it Rebecca because of the death of his mother.
Yeah.
So Isaac could sing this song. And the want of you would be about his mom, and the girl he barely met would be about Rebecca. It would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all I'm saying is that you know it doesn't have to be. There aren't only one category of relationships where people wake up choked up and upset. Mm-hmm. There's lots of categories of relationships where people wake up upset and then have a relationship to try to escape. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've even seen it in the Bible. So I'm not saying that you're wrong. I mean, it's art, so it's always gonna be. There's different ways to interpret for sure, but you know, there's lots of reasons that people get upset about stuff and then jump into a relationship. But I mean, obviously, I don't think you're crazy in this particular instance to say.
I don't care if you think I'm crazy. I think
that it was a previous relationship.
So what did you get out of the part where he talks about the splinters on the floor, like the present being, and then he drowns? I didn't understand the connection between splinters and drowning. I woke up this morning with the present in splinters on the ground.
Well, what did you take the word present to mean?
Just present, like where he is in time.
Yeah. Or it could be a double where, you know, you give a gift to somebody and now it's in shambles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the whatever gift he had is now in splinters and ruined and for whatever reason because he lost somebody. And then he drowned. I mean, he drowned in tears, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And if I can't see, it's for want of you. So there's... Because I'll say, I mean, I've lost, you know, a regular, you could say romantic relationship, and then I lost my mom, and the loss of my mother is much more significant to me than the other one. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying, like, for me, it's like,
yeah,
you know, like, I think, you know, as far as like what changes you as a person. I mean, and a lot of it has to do with the way that you lose a person too. Obviously, I lost my mom in, you know, some pretty precarious circumstances, so it's a little bit different than, you know, she's 88 years old and she's run her course and
Right.
everybody's around the bed and, you know, you send her off to the... But, you know, I know some people right now that could probably sing this song and it would be about their mom.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, I mean, you know, it's just very, very interesting the way that your people's experiences dictate how they understand art, which is the whole point. It's the whole point of art is to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I liked this one. I liked the way that he was singing. I just liked the oddness, I guess, of the way that it was put
this
together.
was a punk song, but
Yeah, I think that look, winner of A99's Emo Week.
Okay,
So
that's interesting.
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an emo type song, but it sounded very punk to me, but it had that sort of like 80s sort of you know, lead guitar riff, almost like Iron Maiden type lead guitar riff. So it's very, very interesting. So I like the musicianship and I like the vocals. Maybe this is like proto emo. Maybe this is the band that started emo before emo became emo.
Yeah.
I guess I've learned that the taste of days that will always burn. I guess I've learned it's in the corner of my eye. I can't always turn. It just seems like he's like, and that's true. I think one of the themes of the song is probably trying to move past a bad situation or a hurtful situation, but it's always there, whether it's in your throat or whether it's
in the corner of your eye.
in the corner of your eye. You know, it's always there.
Yeah.
And
sometimes he can't turn toward it, and other times it drowns him.
Yeah. And if I can't see, it's for want of you. So he can't, you know, not whatever the loss was of whatever relationship it was, you know, until I think he's coming into the self-awareness that until he addresses it, he's never gonna be able to move on.
Right.
You know, which is a major, major, major truth. You know, like you have got to look that stuff like dead in the face. You know, but sometimes I think with some people it's just not healthy maybe to look at it all at once, and you got to take stuff in.
Yeah. I think that's kind of
Small
why
chunks.
people say time heals all wounds. I don't believe that that's entirely true, obviously, but I think that that's a major factor. Like you're not gonna heal overnight, especially if it was a super significant relationship. It's gonna take some time, and but I don't know. It seems like, you know, some losses you kind of always feel, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
in varying degrees.
You know,
My father always said the worst part was the first year after, you know, something tragic. He's like, that's the worst. Because you get all the firsts. The first Christmas, the first this, the first that. So there's a lot of firsts.
yeah. Yeah, I still pretty much feel the same way about...
Yeah.
So...
Well, I think probably the nature of how, you know, the separation took place factors into it. You know, and, you know, I don't know, different relationships are different. How you're going to feel them is just, I don't know. I haven't had any significant losses, you know, except, I mean, obviously I've been through a divorce, but nobody has died.
Yeah. I mean, but, you know, the heart from the head thing is a you know, I make conscious decisions, you know, as to, okay, I'm going to feel this, I'm not going to feel this. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we got done with the gym and I saw something on the news and I was just like, all right, like, that's life, man. It is what it is. Like, you just gotta, you know, so I you know, like, all right, that's it. I'm done. So, you learn to do that type of thing. But, you know, now that I'm out of certain, you know, situations, I don't, you know, like, you know, once I stopped what I was doing and kind of stayed stayed home and, you know, no more adventures in the airport and no more adventures in, you know, whatever. The necessity to have that type of mindset is gone because people are not always, you know, whatever. But so now you're like in the regular world. So you can kind of flip that switch and go back and be because I mean, I was on the way to a trip when I heard about my mom. Like I literally had my bags in my hand when I heard about my mom. Mm-hmm. You know, and then I was like, then I had a decision to make because there were people that were depending on me for that, you know, because I filled a certain type of role, so they were dependent on me to be there. And I just called up the boss, and he was like, "Look, man, you know, if you don't feel like you're going to be able to completely concentrate." And then I had, you know, family members who, it was crazy because if it was just me here, like I would have been able to do what I needed to do, but I had family members here who I was really, really worried about that would have absolutely broke my concentration. So I was like, yeah, no, I can't do that. Not this time. But, you know, so you're able to kind of like go back and forth. And I think at some point I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to be a human being. But then it's like, well, I don't know, man. So that moment in the gym, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna work tomorrow, it's all good, whatever. But I'm not sure if a relationship is the way to make that happen. Like, I'm not particularly certain, you know. Because he talks about, I tried to hide the heart from the head. And I said, and I bled in the arms of a girl I'd barely met. I don't know. Like, I feel like you would like to occupy that role. Like, you would think that that's somehow romantic or whatever. And like I said, maybe there's biblical warrant for it.
I think that
Isaac and Rebecca, I mean, can't argue with that.
I think that there's like lots of people. It doesn't necessarily have to be. When they say that, it to me sounds like a sexual sort of relationship, and that was what he was going to. But I think that there's all types of different relationships that people go to. You know, like, you know, there's certain things going on right now, and the work relationships that you have are the ones that are helping you. So it just depends on what the situation is. But a lot of times it's relationships that get people through things. You know, obviously I would like to be, but that's not the case, and that's not what it is. So
what are you talking about?
Just, you know, like you're going through some different things right now, and of course, yeah, I'd like to be that person, but that's just not how it's going. You know, you're you know, talking to people from work and stuff like that, and that is what it is. Like, everybody has different things, and it is relationships that's getting people through. And I don't think that it has to be, in this case, it sounds like a kind of one night standy sort of type of relationship. But there's all kinds of different relationships, you know. If you're, you know, close to your parents, you might lean on them. I was just talking to somebody else who's going through a particularly hard time, and they were saying they wish that their mom was here so that way they could talk to their mom about it, but their mom's not with them anymore, you know. So yeah, there's all different types of relationships that help, you know, get people through. And for some people, it's their relationship with God. So it's still coming down to a relationship. I think that relationships are a healthy way of dealing with pain.
Do you think this type of...
I don't think that that's actually going to help him in the long run, but it might have got him through that one situation, but it might have created more situations within the situation, you know. I understand where he's coming from. I just don't think that that's the fix for whatever it is that's bothering him. And maybe that's why I woke up in the morning with the present and splinters on the ground. You know, maybe it actually didn't help him in the long run, you know?
Yeah.
And then I drowned. So it's just...
yeah.
Didn't help him like he hoped it would.
It's a good song. What do you get the song?
Oh, it was right up there for me. I actually really, really liked it. It was probably like a 9.8 for me.
Yeah, it's 9.5, 9.5. Good song. Good song. There you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.